Jessie Shao 从小投身艺术，一直对戏剧情有独钟。那虽然美国的戏剧市场呢很少有华裔人士，但是 Jessie 不屈不挠的个性，创作许多作品，让许多人产生共鸣。而他的最新作品《The End Times》也在洛杉矶的著名戏院 KSCI-TV 演出。今天我们特别请到 Jessie 来到我这边，跟我们介绍他的最新作品。Jessie 你好，
嗨，
你好。对于艺术来讲，很多人常常说艺术其实是一个非常孤独的东西。So what makes art so lonely sometimes?
I think that comes in two ways for me. The first is just simply being an Asian American artist. I started at Washington State University, which is just hundreds of miles of wheat fields, and then a town.
所以其实就是在做这个之前，身为一个亚洲人，你已经觉得在这个地方是非常寂寞的哈。而且他去的那个学校，其实他们跟我同一个大学，这是一个小秘密跟大家知道。我们学校其实是真的非常荒凉 ，It's really out in nowhere.
So there's a literal definition of that, but then the other part of that is that every artist is so unique in how they tell their story. That even for instance, when I watch something like Quy Huynh, he's a very popular Vietnamese writer today, and when I see his work, it's he has rap on stage, he has Matrix style fighting. It's really crazy theater, and as much as I enjoy and even relate to his Vietnamese stories, even though I'm Chinese and I can relate to that experience, the way he does things and how he chooses to write is so different from the choices I would make. So even though I like that and I say that's an aesthetic I like, I know in my heart I will never do it that way. And so there's also just the nuance of that like for me, it's like, well, what is true to just Jessie, and then I have to steer off in that direction.
对啊，当然就是说，其实很多的艺术家他们表现的方式都不一样。那有些人是用很疯狂、很强烈的方式去表现，那有些人是用比较静态的方式表现。那对于 Jessie 来讲呢，他其实就是希望可以找到一个他属于他自己的那个路，他可以慢慢的这样子走。那就是说，你的剧本里面其实很多故事是你自己私人的经验。You have a lot of private experiences that you have. 那你为什么会想要把这些 like private 的 moment 跟人家分享呢？
I remember a playwright who said, "The more personal something is, the more universal." And what that meant for me is that, well, I'll tell you about my first play at Washington State. It was called Where You End, I Begin, and it was about my relationship to my grandmother and her telling stories to me and feeding me all the time. I mean, you know, Chinese says 你饿了吗, right? And I wrote this play, and it was an Chinese American show, and it was the only one that had ever been at Washington State University to my knowledge. And I thought, you know, every day leading up to the actual performance, like, no one's going to relate to this. It's a bunch of white college students, old white farmers. No one's going to understand this. And when the show finished that night, I had a lot of young, old, just many different ages coming up to me and telling me about their stories when their family members passed away from Alzheimer's or some type of dementia. And it was kind of within that realization then that, like, really you have to reach out. You have to put yourself, I mean, this is the job of the artist. You open up, you take this thing and you say, here it is. And then other people come to you and they share with you.
其实 Jessie 在大学的时候呢，就写了一个剧本。那个剧本是有关于他跟他奶奶的故事。那个时候其实就是因为那个大学大部分都是美国人哈，他们就觉得说，他一开始就担心说美国人他们不会对这个东西有太多的感觉。但是其实就是在戏演完之后呢，有许多其实就是其他的观众来跟他们分享他们自己可能跟他们长辈的一些故事。所以其实呢，艺术就是说把自己赤裸裸的心交出来，然后让人家去就是有一种交流在。那所以其实并不是大家想的，就是说那么的好像亚洲的东西人家就不会懂。其实 it's all an interaction,
是
like an art. So 那你现在这个剧 The End Times that you have that's showing right now, what is it about?
So right now it's showing at the Skylight Theater off of Vermont, Hollywood, wonderful space. It's about being born and raised in a religious cult. And I grew up in a group that was called the Lord's Recovery from the time I was just a child. It was something that my parents believed. And so the play is really an examination of how very extreme belief can have damaging effects on individuals, especially young minds who are beginning to cultivate their own personality.
When you say religious cult， 它就是它的细致其实跟这个宗教有关，它就是有一些宗教的规范，可能就是极限的规范，可能会对一个人的成长造成一些影响。So when you say religious cult, can you specify, like, be more specific?
Yes. So I think sometimes when we think of a cult, we immediately think Scientology or something like Charles Manson. But when I think of a cult, you know, those are very extreme, like obvious cults. But there are so many cults within the United States where there is these certain types of beliefs that fundamentally do not allow people to question, and they protect their own authority for whatever gain, whether it's financial, whether it's to cover up improprieties. But they use these beliefs to essentially manipulate and take advantage of people. And it may not be in an overt way in which hundreds of people die, which is terrible, but that we do need to understand that these things do exist and they are out there.
就是说，很多的族群呢，其实他们就像是宗教一样，可能有不同的规范，不同的什么。但是有些族群的规范其实是特别的，就是说极端。那但是说，他有的时候会利用这些规范呢，这些宗教去，有点像是操纵人心这个样子啦。那他这次的就是 Jessie 的 The End Time 就是有特别探讨这样子的一个 topic。那今天就非常谢谢 Jessie 来我们的节目，谢谢。那我们稍微休息一下，马上回来哦。